Just what could have gone wrong with the hitherto cozy relationship between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto? That is a question on many minds, as political activities within the Jubilee Party, all aimed at cutting the DP to size, intensify. And TV's senior political reporter Kennedy Mureithi explores the answers to this question, as DP allies also seek answers from the president, who they accuse of daylight betrayal.
When they came to power 7 years ago, the president and his deputy had fashioned themselves as the panacea to the country's problems that date back to independence days. Their bromance, captured in their matching outfits, set them apart from the brand of leadership the country had been accustomed to.
Tusalimiane, tusalimiane.
And as they were in step and garb, so were their words and actions. If this were a marriage, then they would have been the ideal couple.
Wagojee miaka 10, Uhuru amalize kazi yake, alafu wagojee miaka ingine 10, Ruto amalize kazi yake. Alafu sasa wakitaka watakuja sasa waunde yao, ambaye watakuja kusema ni nani atakuwa ndani, nani atakuwa nje.
Kenya twasema Uhuru Ruto tano tena.
But less than a year after a spirited fight that won them a second term, the earliest signs of trouble in paradise started to emerge.
Dani, to the State House, Uhuru Ruto tano tena.
A new partnership between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his closest challenger Raila Odinga is said to have driven a wedge between the president and his number two. But the relationship between the dynamic duo had long been dulled. The handshake may just have been the last nail on the coffin.
Ruto anasukumwa mpaka ukuta baada ya siku. Na hakuna hata siku moja tumepata kuambiwa kwamba huyu amefanya makosa fulani. Na sisi pia hatujasikia Ruto mwenyewe akirombana na mkubwa.
It is a question that has been on many of the DP's supporters' minds as they wrap their heads around the latest happenings that have seen the DP isolated.
We pray that the president will be able to see exactly the journey they have traveled with the deputy president since they have been from Hague.
The most recent manifestation of a love gone sour was the ruthless purge in the Senate, where the deputy president's loyal lieutenants were either kicked out of plum leadership positions or whipped into submission.
In politics, it is very easy to make friends even with the people you don't know. But it's also very easy to make enemies. That is why always the enemies of yesterday are always friends of today. And the friends of yesterday always become enemies of today. Why? Because you are not looking for friendship, you are looking for interests.
Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology lecturer Professor Egara Kabaji seems to agree with Meru Governor Kiraito Murungi, saying the deputy president's problems are of his own making.
What we have seen in recent past is that those who coalesce around the deputy president have been very disrespectful, and occasionally they have said very nasty things about the president. And at that juncture, the deputy president needed to actually rebuke them, and in public, because perceptions matter.
Professor Kabaji says President Kenyatta may never come out publicly on how things between him and his deputy went so horribly wrong, but says the DP may have disregarded one of the cardinal rules of power, never to outshine the master.
Never allow those around you to actually seem to suggest that they are powerful and they can push you or propel you to leadership, even without the blessing of the boss.
Analysts hold that DP Ruto has two options. One of them is to retreat and re-strategize for his 2022 bid for the presidency, or either sit back go back to President Uhuru Kenyatta, seek forgiveness for what has been happening in the last 2 years, and look for a way of working together for the remainder of their term. Kennedy Mureithi, NTV in Nairobi County.